I want to stress to young musicians or whoever is going to be watching this, audiences that it's really a commitment. And I say that not so lightly. I say, like, if you want to pursue putting your music out there, for instance, like Jeff Schneider's brand, like Danny Janklow's brand, it takes a lot of commitment to putting that content out there and creating that content and believing in that content um and developing that content over time. And I think it's not just a time commitment, it's a monetary commitment. It's a commitment to knowing that, hey, if you cut corners, if you don't get the right video people, if you don't get the right engineer, if you don't get the this and that or whatever, if you're not making the commitment in the right ways, you will feel that somewhere down the line you will see the repercussions of that. You have to do things the right way. You have to treat people the right way. You have to treat your musicians the right way. You have to pay people what they deserve. You have to give credit where credit's due in every aspect of this career. And when you do that consistently, when you stretch, and have longevity as a band leader, and people start really messing with you and in a good way, coming to your shows and buying your records and stuff like that, it does pay off. But it doesn't pay off right away. And I think a lot of people growing up may think that, hey, if I put a record out and nobody buys it, that means I failed. That's not true. And not to say that I had that experience, but it just doesn't work like that. You have to continue to have the commitment to doing it for many, many years and not stop doing it, and believe in yourself and believe in your community, believe in your musicians, and create a collective of people that you trust and believe in you, and we'll take that journey with you. And that's really the only thing you can do. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, the business end of things is very similar to the musical end. It's being consistent, it's showing up and playing the long game, because your playing is not going to develop overnight. Your business is not going to develop overnight, and it's being, patient enough to play that long game and know that if you stick with it, you'll come out better on the other side.
Absolutely. I mean, and it costs a lot to even just get good at music. Like, how many thousands and thousands of dollars have we spent on instruments and lessons and school and traveling for auditions and music?
And then the more sort of metaphorical costs of, sacrificing some social experiences when you're growing up and just spending more time in a little room by yourself than, going out to parties or whatever.
I went crazy practicing when I started playing clarinet and flute. I just stopped hanging out with people because I was like, oh, well, I'm in high school. I just picked up, the clarinet. It's a little late. I'm playing flute. Just picked up flute. It's a little late. I need to get really good at these instruments if I want to be a working musician, because everybody that I see around me, the studio musicians that I was talking about, wow, they were so good at these instruments. I mean, they were perfection at the clarinet and flute and whatever doubles they chose. And yeah, I mean, yeah, you do sacrifice social life. You do sacrifice, hey, oh, my friends are going to a party in high school. Well, I have to stay home so that I can, prepare this music for my lesson. I have to stay home so I don't sound like an idiot when I go to my teacher, who's, an older, his name was Vince Trombetta Sr. He was an older Italian man that, he wouldn't sit there and be like, oh, great job, especially if I didn't deserve it. He actually never really complimented me. And that's okay. I'm happy that I had a teacher for like 7 years that I went to weekly that just gave me straight honesty.